You've tuned in to the Top 10 Garden Show with garden expert Ken Lain. Join the conversation daily as he answers timely garden questions. Email Ken a question directly from your phone to his desktop through the web at watersgardencenter.com. That's Waters with 2 T's, gardencenter.com. Or visit face-to-face throughout the week where he can be found at Waters Garden Center in Prescott. Now welcome your host, Ken Lain.
So it has been unusually warm. I mean, warmer than most years. So every year spring hits at the same time, plus or minus about 3 weeks. It can be late, it can be early. This year it is early. And you're seeing that. So I'm tempted to wear shorts. I'm right there, short pants. I'm just bring it. If it's chilly in the morning, then it warms right up. I thought it was going to heat stroke a little earlier. I was doing some shade fabric, new shade fabric underneath the greenhouses, and it's hot up in the corner, up in the eaves of a greenhouse. It's like, oh my gosh, I need to drink more water. What that also does is it wakes the gardens up early. So you're seeing that several of the fruit trees are starting. So your native cherry trees, they're starting to bloom. You're seeing some of your jasmines are starting to bloom. Things are starting. And so also bugs are starting. And so we've seen this wave of customers in. I mean, it's everyone, it's all the neighborhoods. We're seeing bark beetle getting into and starting to eat early Ponderosa pine. So pine trees, that'd be Austrian pines, all pines, but especially their favorite, their native taste buds are made for Ponderosa pines. If you have Ponderosas, I would suggest protecting them, and I'll tell you how to do that. Also, we've had scale, Piñon pine scales. So Piñon pines are the next layer down from Ponderosas are Piñon pines. It's that chaparral area. It's where it's where all the manzanitas start to show up, and the banana yuccas and some of these others. That's where the Piñon pines roam around. They are being attacked ferociously right now with bark beetle, Piñon pines. And so, whoops! And I got to tell you, folks, before you go on air, you should really hold on, stop. Turn off your phone. Don't have alarms going off. Oops, sorry about that. Anyway, bark beetle on Ponderosas, and then Piñon pine scale on your Piñon pines. That's their favorite. So you see Piñon pines have the shorter needles. Ponderosas have the long needles. And so if you see a pinhole in the bark of a pine tree, that is one thing and one thing only, bark beetle. It will get underneath the bark and girdle the tree. They'll collect, they just literally eat all the bark, all the wood underneath the bark. Very serious, extremely dangerous. They will take down the biggest of trees if left unchecked. The shorter needle, that's Piñon pine scale, and you really can't see the scale. But if you look closely at the needle and you see a little dot on the needle, not a hole, but an actual, like someone took a number 2 pencil and just put a little dot. Each one of those dots is a scale. What they're doing is they're piercing the needle, and they suck the juice out of it. And they will suck that tree till it is dead. There's not one living needle left. The plant literally starves to death because it has no foliage to create photosynthesis to collect all the sunlight. It literally starves to death. If left untreated, they will kill that tree within 18 months. I mean, just obliterates them. So I've seen it too many times. It hurts me. I mean, 100, 200, 300-year-old tree. This tree's been here before Columbus landed. And now it's taken out because the season's early. It's your neighborhood's been paved over. We've changed our environment. We get heat island effects. It's global warming. I don't know what it is, but they're under stress. Protect them and they will thrive. Ignore them and they will die. And you'll have $1,000 chainsaw bill coming your way because they're expensive to get out of there. What to do? 2 things. 1, fertilize with 744 all-purpose plant food immediately, right now. In fact, put the radio down, get in your car, turn the channel to this station, and listen to us as you're driving to the garden center. You need to fertilize these plants. A healthy plant that's got some water and food can take on the environment by themselves. While you're here, secondly, there's a product, it's a liquid. It's called systemic drench. It's put out by Fertilome. They're the manufacturer. This is the greatest technology. It's the newest systemic out there. You mix it up in a watering can. You do not need to be an arborist. Mix up a watering can. You pour it right at the base of the tree, right where the trunk meets the ground. That's where you pour this. The tree will naturally pick it up, take that to drench underneath the bug. It's like an antibiotic. It takes it and brings it up underneath the bark and just treats the entire under the bark area, obliterates bark beetle, really it treats it. One treatment lasts for the entire year. So you once and done. It also works on ciliads and aphids and some of these other things that get on trees. But really what you're focused on right now, I'm telling you as a friend, if you got pine trees, you should really take care of them or take a close look or treat them. It's just, you cannot go wrong by fertilizing them. It brings the color out, gives them healthier. And by treating them preventatively, if nothing else, with the soil tree and shrub drench by Fertilum. Great stuff. I mean, I just can't emphasize that enough. Do it now, sometime by the end of this month. Sooner is better, because this stuff takes a while to go up the tree. It travels about a foot a day or so. So it'll take a while to treat the whole tree, but you do it once, there's no reason for you to spray your trees. Don't spend $1,000. You can do it for 100 and treat all your trees. You can do this yourself. You don't have to have a professional. I'll show you how. Just come talk to us, but just put it on your note. Take a look. Note to self, pine trees are being attacked. I should protect my trees. Something very special happens next weekend. This is March 15, 16, 17. For 62 years, we've celebrated the start of the spring season here at Waters Garden Center. And the way we do that is we've got special classes, giveaways, raffles. Mainly, we bring in the growers that are developing these new plants here at Waters Garden Center. They feature them. So I bring them in, make them famous. They make sure they bring some of their latest, greatest, like this batch isn't supposed to be released until next year, the end of this year. They bring them with, they show them off. And so I get the experts coming to Waters Gardens, and they're going to teach the class on Saturday at 9:30. I'm just going to line them up and say, hey, Chris, how did you actually develop this new desert willow? How'd you come up with that? And so he's a great storyteller. He'll share how his family has created. He's one of the foremost gardeners. He probably has more patents under his family's name than we have socks in the drawer. It's amazing what kind of new plants are coming up with. So they're hanging out here. They'll show off the plants. Friday at 3:00. That's this coming Friday, the 15th. It's plant happy hour. I'm going to present what I see as the new plants. The growers will do it on Saturday. I'll kind of show off. It's much more casual. Friday at 3, and it's just an opportunity to see the latest, greatest things. We are filling the garden center up right now with the plants, getting ready for spring 2024. You're welcome to join us. It's going to be fun all weekend long. Lots of plants going off, just lots of classes, lots of experts, horticulturalists everywhere. Lisa and I will just camp out on Sunday, just answering questions underneath the front greenhouse. So you get the foremost horticulturalists here in the county, probably one in the state, right here all Sunday. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday, March 15, 16, 17, 62nd Spring Open House here at Waters Garden Center, Prescott, Arizona.
The Top 10 Gardener, your source for timely garden advice, seasonally correct for the garden, guaranteed to make a difference in your yard this season.